Hey, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live here on Mike Avery Outdoors. So glad to have you along with us. My name is Mike Avery, and this is something I do every Wednesday night here on the Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, on Vimeo, on Twitter. Um, Still working on Instagram. Good evening, John. How are you? Did you enjoy your day off from classes today? Ruben's checking in from Colorado. How are things in the beautiful state of Colorado? Hello, Jen. How are you? Always nice to have you along with us. Vimeo didn't want to go live tonight either, but that's all right. Matt's with us. Craig Plowman is with us. Johnny Bowler is with us. Bruce is with us. We got a good crew tonight. Always a pleasure to have you along with us, my friends. Chris checking in from Kansas, another great place. I love the great state of Kansas. Avid. Hey, Ross, Avid's with us. Avid Martin is with us as well. Avid, my friend, I've been talking to Ross. In fact, Ross is going to join us here in a few minutes, and we're going to do our own unofficial Walleye for Warriors event, Avid, and you are invited. Michelle is with us, Craig's better half. Jeff, I did enjoy this beautiful day. Wasn't it absolutely wonderful? Good evening, Danny. How are you? Roger Kruger checking in from North Dakota. We got a good crew with us tonight. Madison Heights with us. Raymond's with us. Sarah is with us. Erica checking in from the beautiful Thumb. Doug, I am doing great. How are you this evening? David said he talked to Ross on his way home. All right. Well, good. Excellent. Hello, Lonnie. How are you? Nice to have you along on another edition of Wednesday Night Live. My name is Mike Avery, and I'm glad to have you along with us. I think we've got a good show coming up for you tonight. I'm going to talk about what's on the radio show this week. I'm going to talk about a couple of issues facing Michigan right now, including we're getting closer, and I'm not saying it's going to happen yet, but the idea of a sandhill crane hunt. Well, the Warrior event, Matt, since we can't have a Walleye for Warriors trip, Ross and Avid and I are going to do our own private Walleye for Warriors event. But coming up here in just a few minutes, Ross is going to join us to tell us about an event for veterans where you can win a springtime turkey hunt. Missouri's with us in the house. Who else did I see? Bonnie. Bonnie said, I want to thank Michigan Brand Meats. She got that ham that she won last Wednesday. She said it's excellent. Nick Grillo will be along with us tonight because we're going to give away another Michigan brand ham in celebration of Lent. We're going to do this all the way through Lent until we hit Easter. Harrison's with us. Lori Card is with us from Wild Card Outdoor Adventures. Lori, looked like you were having a great time on that snow goose hunt. Houghton Lake is with us. Harrison is with us. We got a good crew tonight. Again, always a pleasure, my friends, to have you along with us. Let's talk briefly before we give away a Michigan brand ham and before we bring in Ross Elliott. Oh, and there's Jen's hubby, Tim. Hello, Tim. How are you, my friend? Howell, check it. Hey, Ace, my good friend Dennis McDonald. We call him Ace. Been a friend of mine since 1980. We went to college together. We went to Ferris together. Johnny says, hopefully I can thank Nick Grillo. Johnny wants to win a ham tonight. Avery. Cool name, Avery. Larry's starting to follow us. Excellent. And Laura, you're going to be joining us in Ohio in October for our bow hunting adventure with Bill Piles of Ohio Bow Hunting Outfitters. Looking forward to that. I'm getting ready. Well, tomorrow I'm going to shoot my recurve for the first time this spring, getting ready for turkey season. I wanted to do it yesterday, ran out of time. Of course, today I was in the radio studio all day, so I couldn't do that. But tomorrow it's going to happen. A couple of things here, okay? Springtime is certainly in the air. The skunks are back. The sandhills are back. I have red-winged blackbirds and geese on the pond behind the house. So we're moving that direction. Fantastic walleye fishing right now across the state. Lake Erie is absolutely on fire. Saginaw River's getting good catches. And here's where we go. Melt the bay ice. Who said that? Kevin says, melt that bay ice. Because when it's gone, the fishing's going to be good. There are some changes coming up. Johnny's going to be with us in Ohio as well. There are some changes coming up that I'm going to talk about here in just a minute. Gear restrictions on the Saginaw River. And let me ask you this before I get too far off topic. Why is it that here in Michigan, I don't count the robins. Those stupid robins, I've seen them 12 months a year. I don't even count them. Lori says her polar craft is ready for the water. They're going to start building my Angler Quest next week. A 26-foot version of the 824 Pro Troll with a 300-horse Merc outboard. That thing will be a fishing machine. Let me ask you, why is it that here in Michigan we have a catch and release season for bass, yet during the closed season for walleye, you cannot intentionally target walleye even if you let them go? Why is that? Sounds to me like the DNR is discriminating against us walleye fishermen. Martin from Crossbow Warrior says, Crossbow Hunter, Michigan Crossbow Hunter says he was up in Gladwin today, Pratt Lake, Wiggins Lake, and they're still ice fishing. 15 inches of ice. He says that might be true, but there's 2 feet of water on it as well. Gladwin, I knew what you meant. No, I'm not getting the new Merc 600, although I could put 2 300s on it and have 600 horsepower. But then I'd have $120,000 worth of motors on there. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Do I need to get a pilot's license for the big 300 on the Angler Quest? Nope. Richard says because people don't eat bass, but I don't see where that's a factor. It's a V, I think it's a 6. It's a 4-stroke. Okay. Hey, Kenny, I talked to Kenny today. Kenny is the manager of the hunting department at Jay's Sporting Goods Gaylord store. I talked to Kenny today for the Jay's Sporting Goods podcast. About turkey hunting. I did not know this. Jason says you can keep 1 walleye. I don't know if you're pulling my leg, Jason, or not. Jason, and is that Menominee in Michigan? Jason says you can keep 1 walleye every 24 hours here on the Menominee. I'm not familiar with that. Lori had largemouth bass in Arkansas. She said it was delicious. Hey, and how many of you folks will I see this Saturday at the Trinity Monitor drive-through wild game dinner that Chef Dave Miner is cooking for? I know some of you on here. I'll see you. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, I want to, and coming up here in about 10 minutes, we're going to give away a Michigan brand ham for Lent. But what I want to do right now is I want to make you aware of this. And I will pull this page up so you can see it. Share screen, window, not navigate, Chrome tab, Wild Game Dining, this Facebook page. Okay, you can see this page right now, right? Yes, you can. Right now, I'm on the Wild Game Dynasty Facebook page, and you'll see this post right here. Attention military veterans. Win a fully guided turkey hunt with Wild Game Dynasty. That's Gary Morgan of Wild Game Dynasty. The 14th, 15th, and 16th of May, and the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. 2 hunters each weekend. You got the details right here. That's the Wild Game Dynasty Facebook page, all right? So what I want to do is stop screen, and I'm going to bring in Ross. Hey, Ross, how are you, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Mike, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the presence of greatness. This is my good friend, Ross Elliott. Ross is working with Gary Morgan at Wild Game Dynasty, and you've got something very cool, Ross. Give us details on that, please.
Well, you know, when they canceled Walleyes for Warriors this year, I posted a post on Facebook because I have a lot of veteran friends that fish in that. So I just posted it so everybody would see it. When Gary reached out to me, because I guide with him for bear and deer and turkey, and he said, hey, you know, since we're not having the Walleyes for Warriors this year, why don't we do like a turkeys for Warriors thing, you know? And I thought, you know, that would be a great deal. That's, you know, when we reached out to you, Mike, to help us promote this a little bit. We just want to get a couple of veterans, 4 as a matter of fact, out for a free turkey hunt for the weekend, all guided, everything's included.
I don't know if you can see the comments, but Avid says, what's up, Ross? The myth, the man, the legend.
Hey, Avid,
that is Ross Elliott.
Yeah, Abe and I talk quite a bit. Even when we're not fishing together or hunting together, we still talk on the phone.
Abe's a great guy, and I had the pleasure of performing the wedding ceremony for Abe and his lovely wife last October. It was
Yes,
thank
you
you, Abe. I
did.
appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes.
Glenn Venner says, I don't know what that means, but we all know Glenn. All right. So listen, the details on this hunt, Ross, how does it work?
So what we're going to have everybody do, if you're a military veteran, go to Wild Game Dynasty, the page that Mike showed. Go to that post that Gary put on there. Like Wild Game Dynasty, and in the comments, put what branch of service you were in. And then in 2 weeks from today, we're going to just pick 4 random people. The first 2 will be for May 14, 15, 16. The second 2 will be for May 21, 22, and 23.
And here's the page right now, Ross. I've got it up here right now. It's the Wild Game Dynasty Facebook page. So you have to like that page. And then what happens next? I'm sorry.
Go into the comments.
Okay.
And just put what branch of service you were in.
Okay.
You know, whether you were in the Marine Corps, the Coast Guard, the Marine, the Army, the Air Force, National Guard. You don't have to be a combat veteran. Just be a military veteran, because I feel that anybody that joined the military and wrote that blank check, whether in combat or not, they're still a veteran in my eyes.
Scott Hand says he has some ground available, but I know you're all set. Here's a great question, Ross. Is this for Michigan residents only?
Well, I believe in order to buy it's over the counter. It's the 234 hunt in May.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you have to be a Michigan resident to get the tag, don't you, Ross?
Correct. Yes,
yeah,
you do.
Okay. So, Matt, no discrimination against our Ohio friends, but you've got to be a Michigan resident, we think, to get the Michigan tag.
Matt, I'll tell you what. Put your name in the comments and let me look into that to see if you can buy an over-the-counter tag.
Ross, Brad's got a comment. He says, get a hold of me. The North Central Michigan Wild Turkeys Hunters Association would love to help out with this in some way if they can.
Hey, we would, Brad, send me a private message. We'll get together. Hey, maybe if we can get another. The only reason we're taking 4 guys right now is just because there's only 2 guides, Gary and myself. So if we can get another guide or 2, maybe we can get some more. This could be something really neat.
Excellent. I love to hear this. So again, what you need to do, folks, go to the Wild Game Dynasty Facebook page. You're seeing it on here right now. Like that page. In the comments, put a comment about what branch of the service you served in. You do not have to be a combat veteran. And then you say, Ross, 2 weeks from tonight, are we going to draw it here on Wednesday Night Live? Is that how you want to do it?
Mike, if you want to do it that way, let's do it that way.
Well, no, listen, yeah. I'm open to whatever.
That'll be perfect. Let's do that.
Okay. So 2 weeks from tonight here on Wednesday Night Live, we will draw the winners of this. So folks have 2 weeks, Ross, to be a part of this.
Yes. Yeah. So, I want this to reach out as many people as Brad Davis saying, hey, reach out to us. Maybe they'll put a couple more guys out there in the woods and in the fields.
I think you and Gary are really onto something here.
I do too. I really do too.
It's great. Mark way around. Brent says, thank you. And springtime, Ross, springtime turkey hunting is just wonderful.
Nothing better than, we can't locate the birds. We've been hunting these areas so long. We've got so many acres of private land up there that it's easy. I shouldn't say easy because, but we've had our
excellent. Danny thinks it's a great idea. Paul thinks it's a great idea. James thinks it's a great idea. And me, Mike Avery, I think it's a great idea, Ross. And I want to thank you and Gary Morgan for coming up with this area. Oh, look at Johnny wants to be a part of this as well. So go to the Wild Game Dynasty Facebook page. You are a vet. Make that in the comment what branch you served in. And 2 weeks from tonight on Wednesday Night Live, we'll draw the winner. You being a part of this. You're a great guy. You to work on this with you guys.
We appreciate it very much, Mike. Thank you.
All right, Robbie Morgan of Wild Game Dynasty. Ross has been a supporter of veterans. I know I did a great. Mike just did. Excellent. Right. Wonderful. All right, my friends. So what do you say? I feel like we're on a roll here right now. I've got some topics I want to talk about. But first, let's give away a Michigan brand ham for Lent. I am quite sure that Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand is on here with us tonight and show you the website for Michigan Brand Meats. There it is, michiganbrand.net. Here are some of the products they have to offer. Of course, they have the great Mike Avery Hunter Sticks. Net, you can buy them on that web. And Nick, I think somebody tell me if Nick is here. I'm pretty sure Nick is here. Oops, don't want to do that. Michiganbrand.net again is the website. Remove. All right. Yep, Nick is here. Nick Grillo right there, by the way. Nick Grillo is a great guy, a good friend of mine. He's a hardcore hunting and fishing fool like many of us are. And he and the Grillo family have been extremely generous to the projects that I've been involved in, and I thank you. So you got 2 minutes right now. Bam. 2 minutes starting right now, according to the official Avery time. Make your comments on why you want to win a Michigan Brand ham for Lent. And please, it would be a great thing for you to say, I'm going to give the ham to a needy family. That is extraordinarily honorable. But please don't make that comment, because when you do, it makes it really, really hard for Nick to choose a winner. So even if you're going to do that, please don't post it, because how can Nick ignore that? So make your comments clever, make them tasteful, make them funny. You can plead to Nick if you want about why you want to win a Michigan Brand ham, and you've got 1 minute and 30 seconds to do that. Michigan Brand ham as a celebration of Lent. We will do this every Wednesday night now through Easter. Michelle says, please pick me for the pig butt. That's a pretty good comment, Michelle. John says he'd love to try his first Michigan Brand ham. Jason, my good friend from Trinity, it's the only ham for me. Pick me, Jason says. Hey, Mike Streeter, how are you, my friend? My friendship with Mike Streeter goes back even farther than my friendship with Ace McDonald, because I went to school with Mike. I mean, like grade school, high school. 1 minute on the Michigan Brand ham. 1 minute on the Michigan Brand ham. It would make him famous with the in-laws. Ham it up in Ohio, Matt says. Greatest from 1 minute on the Michigan Brand ham. 1 minute. This ham, that ham, we all want a Michigan Brand ham. Avid says they make the best hams out there. They do. 30 seconds on a Michigan Brand ham. And you know I'm not watching my watch, right? I'm not paying any attention to my watch whatsoever. Hurry for a ham and a mic buzzer. I don't know what the buzzer is going to... Sam Austin from Jay's, jsportinggoods.com. All right. Gary says he's bringing, where'd it go? Where's Gary's comment? Gary is bringing the ham to the turkey hunt for veterans. Excellent. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. 37 seconds tonight. Somebody else said I went 45 seconds. Whew. That buzzer was a 10, huh? Jason says, nice buzz. Oh, it's only 23.2. John said it was 23. Still longer than my 19 seconds of last week. I thought 45 seconds was a little long. But that was a pretty good one, though, wasn't it? 23 seconds. I know. I'm pretty proud of myself. I am pretty proud of myself for that buzzer tonight. Yeah, wow, wow, wow. All right, we're waiting to see who Nick picked for since you've endured the buzzer. There we go. Johnny Snyder is tonight's winner. Johnny Snyder, who made the comment about a Michigan brand ham would make him a hero with the in-laws. Well, Johnny, congrats. You can now be a hero with the in-laws. But what we need, Johnny, is send me or Nick a private message here because I see you're on Facebook about your address, your shipping address. If you're local, they'll just drive it to the house, which I think is wonderful. And if you're not local to the Bay City, Tri-Cities area, they will ship it to you. So Johnny Snyder, congrats on winning this week's Michigan brand ham. Johnny Snyder. Let me write this down. Johnny Snyder. And again, Nick Grillo of Michigan Brand Meats, thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your partnership with me on Mike Avery Outdoors and the Outdoor Magazine radio show. I look forward to getting out on the Angler Quest with you. They're going to build my boat next week, by the way. The website, michiganbrand.net. That's michiganbrand.net. So a lot of people congratulating Johnny, John. Here we go. A lot of people congratulating John, and I will congratulate John as well. All right. Thank you. And Nick, again, thank you very much. Again, we'll do this a couple of more weeks. What is there? 3 more weeks in Lent? I think Lent was long. It was an extra week this year, I think. Okay, michiganbrand.net is the website. You can get the wonderful Mike Avery Hunter Sticks at all Forward stores, at Jack's, all over the place. Bill Hoffman is here. Good evening to you, my friend. And I will get ahead of him. I will tell you who's on the Outdoor Magazine radio show this week. And then I want to talk about a couple of topics that have been kind of on my mind and topics of the show. The first guest this week is Dave Rose. Dave is an outdoor writer. We're talking about, this is old, Richard. I don't believe this. The new House bill, which bans boats on water from sunset to 8 a.m. They talked about that last year. Even if they are trying to resurrect it this year, it doesn't have a chance of getting through. Not in a year when people are looking for outdoor recreation as a way to get away from the pandemic. Do not look for this to go anywhere. And if it does, any state legislator that voted for it should be voted out immediately. Have fun, Ross. Have fun. Yeah, Martin played the role of Bill this morning, asking who's on the show. Dave Rose, outdoor writer, talks about surf fishing. It's getting to be that time of year. And incidentally and coincidentally, Dave was down in the Gulf in Alabama, and he caught what would have been a world record saltwater sturgeon while surf fishing. I say what would have been because he had to release it, obviously, but he didn't have a tape measure, so he couldn't measure it. It was over 6 feet long. Then Dean Hall with the Sportsmen Against Hunger program. We think about Sportsmen Against Hunger in the fall when we want to donate our venison. But this is also a time to think about Sportsmen Against Hunger right now. As you're buying your new hunting and fishing licenses for 2021, there is a box you can check to make a donation to Sportsmen Against Hunger. And that donation will go to pay to subsidize processors this fall so they can process our venison and give it away. So I think it's a great program. In hour number 2, Brad Dupuis of Apex Marine joins me. Apex, the parent company of Angler Quest boats. We talk about Angler Quest. Can you even get an Angler Quest this year? And I'll tell you this right now. If you're looking for an Angler Quest, hit your local dealers right now. Some of them have boats in stock. And if you find a boat that'll fit your needs, get it. Do not hold out for the factory to build you a new boat this year, because if you want it for this summer, because they're building boats for September, August and September right now. That's how hot boating in general and how hot Angler Quest boats are. They're building my boat next week. It's a 26-foot version of the 824 Pro Troll. It's got a 300-horse Merc on it. Then Nick Green from MUCC joins me to talk about 2 issues: a sandhill crane hunt here in Michigan and a wolf hunt here in Michigan. And here's what's happened with both of those. The state legislature has recommended that the NRC take a look at both of these hunts. Now, it's a recommendation. They cannot order and they cannot direct the NRC to do this. What they're trying to do is get sandhill cranes listed as a game species, which would open the way. And of course, wolves are no longer protected. So we'll see where this goes. We'll see where this goes. You can bet that when they become serious about this, and it looks like there's a threat that it could actually happen, that the anti-hunter, I don't want to use a term that's so strong that I'm going to regret it later, but I have a real problem with the hardcore anti-hunters who want to keep us from being able, the ticks are out, Lori says. I got you, Lori. I'm just not there yet. I don't want to say something that I'll be embarrassed or ashamed of later, but I got to be honest. I have absolutely no respect for the hardcore anti-hunters, because everybody has a right in this world to do what they want to do, as long as it's moral and as long as it's legal. And if we choose to hunt because we believe it's moral and biologically sound and biologically necessary and legal and just plain fun, and it's part of our history and heritage, what right do the whack job anti-hunters have to crawl out from underneath their rock and tell us that we don't have the ability to do it? The polar craft side of Apex Marine is on fire right now too, Dave. So we talk about that. This week's Ask Avery segment, I think, is an interesting one, because I did this week's Ask Avery segment as a reminder that walleye fishing in Michigan on the inland rivers closes on the 15th at midnight. Except for the Great Lakes and connecting waters. Now, you might say, well, connecting waters, hey, Avery, the Saginaw River connects to the Great Lakes. The Grand River connects to the Great Lakes. The Muskegon River connects to the Great Lakes. The St. Joe River connects to the Great Lakes. So all of those must be open too. No. When they say connecting waters, they mean rivers that connect to Great Lakes. In particular, the Detroit River and the St. Clair River. Those are open year-round. My question is, the St. Mary's connects to two Great Lakes. Why is that not open year-round too? But it's not. So there will be a closure to target walleye. Again, another question. I brought this up earlier. Why can we target bass during the closed season? We can target them. We can fish for them. We just have to release them, catch and release. Why can you not do that with walleye? People said, oh, it's because they taste good. What does that have to do with it? If you can show me, yes, it is true. Robert, it is true. It's true that farmers in Michigan can get a crop damage permit and shoot sandhill cranes, but then they can't eat them. They got to let them rot or bury them. And that's not right. If there's enough out there that the farmers can shoot them, we should be able to shoot them as hunters. Okay, why is there not a catch and release season on walleye? If it's truly a spawning closure and you want to protect the fish, then just shut it down. So I've always wondered about that. Anyway, there are some regulations coming up on Saginaw Bay tributaries that are going to change as far as the gear restrictions that you can use. But here's the confusing part. The season closes March 15th, but the new regulations don't go into effect until April 1st, because that's when the cycle of the DNR's fishing regulations for the new year takes hold. So I think Addie Dutton, a DNR fisheries biologist, joins me on the show, and I think she did a pretty good job of explaining this, but that's what that was all about. And then in hour number 3, we're talking with veteran outdoor writer Tom Lounsbury about a celebration of spring, about that what that means for outdoor enthusiasts. For me, it's turkey hunting, it's walleye fishing. By the way, Tom, in 1968, was one of 30 people to get a tag to hunt turkeys in Michigan on the first turkey season we ever had. But Tim, that doesn't matter. Tim says because people catching bass aren't wanting to eat them. In my mind, that's not a factor. If you could prove to me that somehow bass are biologically tougher and more resistant to catch and release than walleye are, then I could go along with it. But I have seen no studies, and I've heard nobody talk about the fact that that's the case. I mean, in the middle of summertime in Saginaw Bay, when the surface temp is 80 degrees, I'm releasing walleye all summer long, and they swim off, and I have no reason to believe that they don't survive. So anyway, and then wild game chef extraordinaire Dave Miner has a very nice, I think it's a walleye recipe. It's a blackened walleye, if I remember right. And then I recorded a new Jay's Sporting Goods podcast. Interesting with Kenny Slavin's talking about turkey hunting. Jason makes an interesting comment. He said, didn't they open bass fishing because of a push by tournaments and an economic push? Thank you for getting me back on track. I think the reason that we have a catch and release season for bass and not walleye is that the bass fishermen were more vocal. And as Jason says, they pushed for it, and the walleye fishermen haven't pushed for it. And if that's the case, why are we letting a social science play a role in biology? In Michigan, we passed the Scientific Wildlife Management Act that said all fish and game decisions will be based on sound science. It doesn't say anything about social pressure or economics. Related to this, I believe that the quickest way to get a sandhill crane hunt in Michigan or a wolf hunt is to get the legislature involved and put pressure on the DNR. But do I want to see that happen? Do I want the politicians playing a role in wildlife management? No, I don't. Science presented pertained to bass, not walleye. I'm not following you on that one, Jason. I'm sorry, I'm not following you on that one. I'm not saying what your comment. I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but I didn't follow that comment. My old brain sometimes doesn't catch up. So that's what I'm thinking. What else is on my list, my friends? Okay. Oh, I got to tell you a story here. Story time with Grandpa Mike. Story time with Grandpa Mike. Almost every morning, I try to walk. It's part of my plan to keep the weight off that I lost. And I like to walk 3.5 miles. Sometimes I'll go 2.5. Sometimes I'll go 4, but I like to do 3.5 miles. But the other morning I was doing a shortened loop because I didn't have a lot of time because I actually had work to do. So I wanted to do a 2.5 mile loop. So I walked around the neighborhood. I live in town. I live in the city. Now I live on the edge of town, but I live in the city in a residential neighborhood. We've got a pond behind us. We've got a hay field near us. We've got fields across the freeway. So there's wildlife here. There's deer here. I haven't seen any turkeys. I've seen turkey tracks. And I knew there were coyotes in the area. The other morning at 7:30 in the morning, I'm walking down this city street. I got my earbuds in, listening to a music. All is good with the world. And I look up, and 30 yards in front of me, a coyote comes out of a little piece of woods between two houses, walks across the street, and goes in between two houses on the other side of the street. He wasn't running. He was trotting, like coyotes do. Da, 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 da. He was trotting. I saw him the same time he saw me. I yelled at him. I said, "Hey, get out of here." He didn't stop. He didn't tuck his tail between his legs and take off. He just kept on with his trot. So this coyote obviously is very used to seeing people. He's around people all the time. So I did let all the neighbors with small dogs know that it's probably not a good time to leave your small dog out on a leash right now. Also, that same morning, I saw a coyote. I saw that coyote at 7:30 in the morning. I was telling a neighbor across the street who has a trail camera behind his house, in the woodlot behind his house. Yes, it is breeding season. And at 4:30 that morning, they got an image of a coyote across the street from my house on their trail camera. I suspect it was probably the same dog. And Mike, you're right. Breeding season, they are habituated to being around people. Using the new Primal see-through blind this year. Looking forward to watching Mother Nature change. I'll tell you more about that. Yep, I believe you, David, for sure. Robert's talking about the new see-through blind from Primal Tree Stands. I do want to show you that. Share screen. Here we go. And I tell you about this every week because I really, really believe in it. This is the Primal Tree Stands Wraith 270 see-through ground blind. The price on it is $279, which is a very good price. But watch this. If you go to this website, outdoorpregame.com, and you're going to want one of these blinds for turkey season because they allow 270 degrees of visibility. You can see all the way around. You can see out, but critters can't see in. Look at this. $279, which is a good price. If you use this promo code right here, Mike20, and you hit apply, that price goes to $200. $200 for a see-through ground blind that is lightweight. It's a two-person blind. You can see out and the critters can't see in. Outdoorpregame.com, use the promo code Mike20, and you can get one of those blinds for $200. Nice, huh? So don't forget about that. Eric says the Wraith 270 is a great blind. You can't wait to use it. Robert says he used it for for deer hunting. It was great. I've hunted out of them for bear, deer, and turkeys, and I absolutely love them. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. Nice comment. I appreciate it. Hey, Jimmy, my buddy Jimmy Diedrich. Great guy. Nice to have him along with us. Hardcore angler. He used to work at the old Hoyles. You know Jimmy from Hoyles Marina back when it was Hoyles, now Linwood Beach Marina. Yes, Todd, check him out. Go to outdoorpregame.com. Use the promo code Mike20, and you can get one of those Wraith 270 see-through ground blinds for $200. You pay $20 now. And when they ship it to you, and I just ordered one. I ordered one for our Trinity Monitor online auction. I had it in a week. Speaking of the Trinity Monitor online auction, it will be online at a website called bidnow.us. Bidnow.us. It's not live yet, but I want you to bookmark that website because I think you'll be able to preview starting next week. One of the prizes, well, two of the prizes given away. One of them is a Wraith 270 see-through ground blind. You can bid on that. The other one is a day of walleye fishing on Saginaw Bay with me, Captain Mike Avery, aboard the Angler Quest for 4 anglers at a mutually agreeable date this summer. Hey, Scott Keatsman of Linwood Taxidermy, late to the party, but you're here. That's all that matters. So if you've heard me talk about the Angler Quest, if you'd heard me talk about fishing skinny water on Saginaw Bay and you think you might want to go out with me on the water, bidnow.us. We're having an online auction. And if you're the high bidder, you can win and go fishing with me this summer. Bidnow.us. Bidnow.us. There's nothing there right now. That's the website. I think next week you can start to bid. I'll let you know for sure. But really, I'd love to have you get involved in that. And the money goes for a great cause. It's for our school, our little parochial school at Trinity Monitor Lutheran Church, Salzburg and 8 Mile in Bay County. Love to have you join us there, by the way. Okay, what else? Oh, next Saturday, not this Saturday, because this Saturday is taken up with something else. Next Saturday, the 20th, I will be at Maple Bay Marine in northern Michigan. It's near Hubbard Lake, Brutus area. I'll be there on Saturday. This is a personal appearance for Angler Quest. If you want, stop by and see me. Let's shoot the breeze. Let's tell some hunting and fishing stories. Let's take some pictures. I'll be there then. And then the following Saturday, Okay, this Saturday, the Saturday that I'm going to be at Maple Bay is the 20th. And then on the 27th, I'll be at Lakeside Motorsports in Mecosta. Again, the same thing, a personal appearance for Angler Quest. Gina wants that trip. Gina Cannell, the manager of the gun department at Jay's Sporting Goods. And I'll tell you what, folks, Gina's a good person to know right now because she runs the gun department at Jay's, and we know how hard it is to get guns right now. So you should strike up a personal friendship with Gina Cannell. Maybe she can get you some guns. Gina, the website, bidnow.us. It's a fundraiser for my church and school. It's not live yet, but it's a walleye fishing trip on Saginaw Bay aboard the Angler Quest with me, a trip for 4. Mike's going to stop by and see me over at Lakeside. Excellent, Mike. I will look forward to that. I haven't seen you guys for a long time. I'll look forward to it. All right, my friends, I think that pretty much does our time tonight. I think we covered a lot of ground tonight. Again, thank you to Gary Morgan of Wild Game Dynasty and Ross Elliott of Wild Game Dynasty for putting on this veterans turkey hunt. And again, the way that you enter this is you go to the Wild Game Dynasty Facebook page, you like the page, and then if you are a veteran, you make a comment in the comment section about what branch you served in. 2 weeks from tonight, here on Wednesday Night Live, we will draw the winner. There are 2 different hunts. And if they can get more guides, they'll get more people involved. But go to Wild Game Dynasty on Facebook, like the page, make your comment about what branch you served in. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Thank you, Craig. It's over by your son. Oh, that would be nice. Matt is a guide down on Lake Erie, Gina. So you might want to keep him in mind as well. So if you don't win, Gina, the fishing trip with me by being the highest bidder, you could go fish with Matt. All right, my friend. All right, Janie, appreciate the comments. Laura, you have a great night as well, my friend. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me on Wednesday Night Live. Again, my website is MikeAveryOutdoors.com. You can check that for all things Mike Avery Outdoors and Outdoor Magazine. My email address is mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. You can email me on any topic, any question, any comment, any complaint. The email address is mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. My cell number is No, I'm not going to give you my cell number. Although many of you already have my cell number, but I'm not going to put my cell number out on the internet. Jason says, if we don't bid Gina up, will we get a deal? No, I want you to bid her up. I want this thing to go for a whole bunch. And I will tell you this. A lot of the other trips that I give away for my charity auctions end up going for, I did one for Real Men Wear Pink that went for like $2,600, but it's a great cause, right? And it's a write-off. And actually, Trinity Monitor would be a write-off as well. All right, my friends, thanks for joining me on another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Have a great night. Enjoy the warm weather. Get outdoors, have some fun, and I'll talk to you next week right here on Wednesday Night.